Hi guys, Carcer back again with a few more games of Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2. Got the videos coming thick and fast now. So, starting in this first game off against Ice Lord, who is going to be taking Necrons. I'm going to be playing with the Evil Sun's fleet again for this video. Comprised of 3 Deadnought Ords Gargdaka, 2 Hammers, 6 Savages, 2 Onslaughts. So I'm thinking this should be a fairly decent fleet for taking on the Necrons. You can run into problems with them if you hit a double cairn fleet, if you're just using cruisers and battle cruisers, because they just don't quite have the resistance to crit damage and combined firepower to really whittle the cairns down. So it's just kind of a toss of the dice. I think the Necrons usually come out on top if they're played well. But the Deadnoughts are more than capable of going toe to toe even with the Necron battleships. So we've got a reasonably tight triangle of capture points in the middle, just in case we just go cap happy. And we've got plenty of escorts that we can contest those with anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Full speed! Fire bombers!
So we've got 3 ships all traveling at the same speed, which means he probably doesn't have cairns. So that could be cruisers, battle cruisers, not totally sure.
Hit the red button!
I was going to send out a couple of squads of fighters. I'm still getting the invisible ship bug. Seems like it just going to show up
the
once
enemy
every
has
couple of matches
seized a
now.
strategic area. You have seized
Although
a strategic
by
area.
boosting my 2 hammers there, that seemed to make them visible again. So that's good. I'm not sure if enemy ships are affected by it. I've only noticed my own ships go invisible, but then I suppose I wouldn't notice if the enemy ships are invisible, so I don't know. Hopefully we'll get a look at that later on.
Yeah? You want us over there?
So I'm just keeping all my escorts together. Okay, it's a Scourge fleet.
Enemy ship sighted!
Okay, so 3 of my escorts are about to eat shit, unfortunately. But Scourges have actually got really crap weapons, so assuming I can close on them, then
You have seized a
this
strategic
shouldn't be too
area.
much of a problem.
Enemy ship sighted!
If he is sending his squadrons out to attack my escorts, then that's great, because that means he's not using it to chip away at my battle cruisers and battleships.
Wings ready!
So I've just popped them all into brace for impact. Just sit here in the clouds. See if he dives on them. Hopefully he does. I've got all the weapons, the engines targeted on the Necron ships. And that'll just prevent any kitey bullshit. Yeah, looks like he is going ham for my escorts.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So I was going to capture that central point, but I've just decided to skirt around it. Maybe I will just capture it.
You ain't the boss of me! Yeah? Enemy ship sighted!
Okay, so I have lost half my escorts, another one's about to go down now, but we're now in engagement range. So just swapping over to lock on, we want to get as many crits as possible, make sure to get those engine damages.
You got it, boss!
So in a rare move, I've not taken the tractor cannon in this match. It's not of much use against Necrons between their ability to do the teleport and their high armor. To be honest, ramming's not super effective with Necrons either. Especially if it comes against cairns where like, you can barely move it with the tractor cannon.
Golden boys did good, boss.
The enemy
So yeah, I've
has
just
seized
taken
a
the
strategic area.
Nova Cannon and the Plasma Bomb. Because the name of the game with Necrons is just trying to whittle them down as quickly as possible. The enemy is just running away rather than turning to engage, which is great. That gives me a shot at his engines, which is exactly what we want.
It's not supposed to burn, fix it!
Okay, we did have one yellow engine on that middle scourge. Taking some pretty heavy damage from the from the doom side, but absolutely nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to bother poking off for a little while with
You
one of the
have
squadrons,
seized a
but that was
strategic
for
area.
a second. Looks like we've got a pretty nice Nova Cannon hit on the enemy flagship. Looks like that was maybe
The enemy
two
has
or three
accumulated
I got on him.
25% of strategic points.
Plasma bomb as well.
That one was for the
Just tend to
grudge
leave the flagship lagging behind, because obviously just like the Imperial ships has to remain stationed by the Nova Cannon.
Reloading!
But yeah, we're now into brawling range, and yeah, we should just get very quickly. Okay, we do have one, I guess, tried to teleport into the safety of this cloud, not realising the flag was there. So he can just 1v1 my flagship, that's fine.
Begin Daka! Restore the enemy ship!
You have seized a
In the background, I do
strategic
have
area.
my few remaining escorts just camping off sending point that I skirted around earlier on,
Boarding boys
just in
did good,
case, but
boss!
You have accumulated
I think it's
50%
pretty much a
of
done deal at this
strategic
point.
points.
Walks his
Mutinies
best.
to be expected. God, that hammer has just got every single module either destroyed or damaged.
Do best.
Yeah, I think it's best you do just limp away there, mate.
Hit the red button!
These Scourge fleets, they're I mean, they can be really nasty to deal with if they just kite you. You know, if they just constantly run away while launching their squadrons, then they can be a bit of a pisser. The Evil Sun's fleet and the Big Red Button upgrade, you can catch them, but you're going to take quite a lot of damage doing so, and you'll be chasing them half the map before you can get into range. Plus, you need to catch them. You kind of need to leave your ships in reload stance, which is not ideal because then that kind of makes your mega cannons and heavy guns useless. So you need to lock on, especially if you're in a situation where you're chasing somebody down. But I think it's just an escort left at this point. Sounds like he is just bailing out.
Enemy ship sighted!
Oh. He's surprised. I assume he means Nova Cannon.
You have accumulated 75% of strategic points.
Okay, that was a pretty nice match to start things off. Oh, I forgot to say, so I'm trialing 1440p for this video. So I just got a new CPU and monitor, so able to now run the game in 1440p. So I'll see how that turns out on YouTube, just so we experiment. But yeah, hopefully it'll look a little bit nicer for you all. And this is more like it. Okay, so now we've got a match against other orcs. Great. Orc v Orc. I mean, they're usually pretty quick matches. Tends to be just two fleets slamming into each other, which is great. I've definitely this fleet I've got now is definitely better equipped for Orc v Orc than my Blood Axe fleet. It does tend to come down to whoever has more battleships wins, although there are ways and means to get around that. You can, if the enemy does take an all battleship fleet, then it just means that the entirety of it is just pretty unmaneuverable. and slow. And so the way to deal with that is you use a combination of the stasis bomb and tractor cannon to try and just pinch off bits of their fleet. And so maybe when they go for their charge, use the stasis bomb and the tractor cannon to try and block maybe 3 out of the 5 ships that are coming for you, and then just go down, make sure you try and flank, take out the 2 ships that you allow through, and then they're either destroyed or badly crippled by the time the rest of the fleet shows up. Wasongs is a good skill. The big red button upgrade is not so important. Another deck is great for orcs because of their crit weakness. Then you want to try and stay in lock on as much as possible. So if you get another deck that allows you to stay in lock on even if your deck's been destroyed. And of course, decks are a prime target for the enemy ships when playing as orcs. Plasma bombs are a pretty decent choice against orcs as well, but I think the combination of tractor cannon and stasis bomb is definitely more effective. So I see a lot of torpedoes coming out from the enemy fleet, which is great. That means he's got shit orc torpedoes and he doesn't have mega cannons, like I do.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
There is something to be said about the boarding potential of the orc torps. I mean, if you fire off a volley at close range, plus you pop the WA ability and hit them with your standard boarding as well, then you can do some pretty decent boarding damage. I mean, when using the WA ability, so you're doing like I think you're pretty much 100% chance to do a 3 crew damage critical for every boarding stack damage to put in the enemy.
Here we go.
And just with the sheer amount of ships and the sheer number of boarding stacks you can put out with the orcs, then for that one burst you're even better than Space Marines or Dark Eldar.
Wings ready.
Just really crippling boarding damage.
You got it, boss.
Tyranids.
What you want?
Well, the Tyranids with the hentai tentacles, they are pretty effective.
Move that junk.
So just gonna get these 2 escorts to kind of skirt around and then come back. I think it did see a 5 squadron, 5-wing fighter squadron come out a moment ago. So it looks like we've got a dead knot.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Okay, so it's 3 of the Basha Ardunkies up here, which are they're kind of a funny case. So I don't really use them. I have done. I've tried to use them, but I just can't reflect they've got no weapons at all. All they've got is limited use torps, limited to 2 charges, limited use fighters and bombers, also limited to 2 charges per squadron type. But then they've got no guns whatsoever. So, I mean, they're a really cheap carrier, and they do have, let's say, 2 squadrons each, which is, 2 charges of 2 squadrons each. Which is good, but
you got it.
I don't know, I can't really justify taking them in any fleet.
Enemy ship sighted.
So
enemy ship sighted.
There's the enemy flag. That must be so that'll be the Ardunki. Just gonna hold off and track there and away from the charge. There's the oh. Okay, it looks like it's gonna hit that bottom one, but I guess not. So given they're taking massive morale damage from running each other, and they're damage as well.
You got it.
Got my two hammers, they're firing the back of them now, so that would be like quick damage. They're all on fire. They're fine. I managed to get a few boring actions off onto my
Holding is what orcs do best.
battleships, but I mean, they've got opportunity to slow that up. And then just focus on the enemy flagship.
Move that junk! We stopped the enemy ship.
I was just about to say those were slick moves before I just ran my two ships into each other.
Holding boys.
So we'll just drag the enemy flagship into the little kill pocket here.
We
Getting surrounded.
We saw.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the bashes.
You have
okay, well,
accumulated
looks like they're
25%
pretty much
of
broken now
strategic
with
points.
the destruction of the flagship.
Orcs, orcs, orcs.
So that was kind of a different fleet. I guess it was. I didn't actually see what the cruisers were. I couldn't see if they were cruisers or battle cruisers that he'd taken. But it looked like that was maybe supposed to be like a kind of a carrier / boarding focused fleet. Oh, was it the Hiya? Yeah, he must have taken the Hammer Smaka's Zap ship. Although if that's the case, I don't know why he would take the bashes. Okay, we've got the same player again for this third match, Red Baron. But after playing as the Orcs, he's now decided that he's going to shift over to the Dark and Pervy side, and he's taken Dark Eldar instead, which is gross. Now, this is bad because this fleet is not super good at dealing with Dark Eldar. Definitely not as good as the Blood Axe fleet that I like to use. However, I do have a lot of escorts, so hopefully I can use them to keep the enemy visible. The point layout isn't terrible for a Dark Eldar match. Seems like you got the four points are clustered on the left hand side of the map, reasonably close together, and then you've got one outlier over there on the right. And it'll certainly be tricky if he decides he's going to go Capscum. But it's not like I'm going to be having to send ships all over the place. So hopefully we'll have an encounter with his ships in the middle. I'm just going to head up and just try and grab those middle points there. So hopefully I will run into one or two of his ships and we'll be able to catch at least one of them. Just going to stick with the stasis bubble and tractor because I reckon I've got plenty of spotting with all my escorts. So most of the escorts are just going to go along with the main fleet and just use for a little bit of extra eyes and firepower. I think I'll keep a couple of them. They can just go up that left hand flank, so there is a couple of points there, so I'll move them up and try and keep them hidden in the gas cloud and then bring them out later when enemies forgotten about them and whittled down that fleet load.
Best. Here we go.
So the two rearmost escorts, I've got those on an escort order for my two hammers. So I don't know if newer players might not know this, it's never really explained anywhere, but if you get a ship and left click on another ship, then it'll follow that ship, which is really handy for if you've got a fleet of ships that maybe don't all have the same movement speed. To stop the faster ones from going ahead, then you can just get you can get them to do an escort order on the slower ships, and they'll just follow those ships at maybe I think they usually stop at about 4,000 kilometers.
The enemy has seized a strategic
4 kilometers
area.
behind them even.
You have seized a strategic
There,
area.
thereabouts.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So we've got some strike craft coming out. Let's go see if I can. There we go. So it's got all them mixed up in a dogfight. Hopefully, I combine firepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, the point defense should be able to take them down.
Move that junk!
So unsurprisingly, they have captured the
You got it!
3 points nearest to their deployment zone.
The fight is over
Before I
here!
managed to get there. But all of
Wings
that will
ready.
recap pretty quickly. I'm just going to get those escorts on the left ready to move up and start tapping. Oh, there we go, battleship. Good. Okay.
You have
it might
seized a
even be the flagship.
strategic area.
That's the dark matter cannon just got spun
The
down
fight is
on my
over
2
here.
hammers. So it's going to move up.
Enemy ship
It is the
sighted!
flagship. Well, that's fantastic. Okay. Is he going to boost? Does he not realise that he's in a stasis bubble? It is no, my friend. You're going to stay right where you are. Well, this is fortunate. Catch.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
So yeah, I'm just going to try and use my fighters defensively. Looks like some many cruisers we've got over here. So it's not just a straight up battleship fleet.
We'll get him, boss!
Yeah, this Dark Eldar battleship is pretty doomed. I can't believe he did. He must have been, yeah, it must have been because he was microwaving those 2 cruisers and trying to get them to come in for the attack on the hammers and just didn't notice what was happening to his flags. No, I don't think you are going to get away actually, mate.
You
So
got
we
it,
can go for
boss!
the glory kills with this escort.
Wings ready!
Wow! Splash.
Ship got holes in it! Our escort went rogue!
Yeah, there's a few things more
That's not supposed
satisfying
to
in this
burn.
game than
Face it!
killing Eldar battleships with your an
Yeah!
escort ram.
Enemy ship
I
sighted!
mean, Dark Eldar battleships are good, but I mean, you know, really what you want is a void stalker.
Enemy ship
That's
sighted!
the absolute shit. We've got a couple of light cruisers even. Okay, so this is quite interesting what mixed fleet he's got going here.
Faster, you
So 2
grots!
light cruisers with an escort.
Go ahead.
Then we've got flagship destroyed, and then there was also 2 cruisers which are up in the north
Enemy
somewhere.
ship sighted!
Yeah, one of them just decloaked up in that gas cloud.
You got
So
it!
they'll be molesting my hammers.
What do you want?
So the enemy does still have a
Enemy
3
ship
point,
sighted.
2 point lead for kind of tied on points because I managed to get his
Enemy
battleship.
ship
But
sighted!
You have accumulated
Yeah, it's still all
25% of
24.
strategic points.
Faster, you grots!
although if all he's got left is cruisers and light cruisers,
You
he's
got
going to have a hell of a hard time playing the cap game.
Here we go!
The enemy has accumulated
So, I'm kind of in 2 minds
25%
about
of
what to
strategic
do.
points.
Okay, we've got another squadron coming out.
Wings
Fine,
ready.
I'll just stop here, drop vision, carry on.
Okay, we'll go that speed. Yeah? Faster, you
And if I
grots!
venture too far away from the 2 points I've already captured, then those light cruisers will be right back in. But I suppose at least they'll have a little bit of time to deal with that, since they cap pretty slowly.
Hit the red button! You got it.
So the enemy bomb squadron did
What
that
you
bug
want?
thing where it just kept going. Normally they just turn back when you stealth your ship. Oh, okay. So they're now heading up there, which means
Full speed!
there must be a dark elf. Oh, right, there it's there. Okay, so there's both the cruisers.
Orcs is
So I
best!
should just cloak up again. I'll get rid of the other
You
bomber
want us over
squadron.
there?
So what I'm going to do
Move
now
that
is just start
junk.
moving all my ships up in this general direction. We're just going to try and make a net.
Full speed!
And as soon as it gives away position again, I'll just get one of the escorts to pop a scanner. Not sure where he's gone. I reckon he's probably just sitting up north of the top gas cloud there.
Yeah? You got it, boss!
No sign of the escort
Wheels
and
ready.
light cruiser squad that were down in the south.
You got it, boss!
Well, I'll just move. Yeah, I'm going to move my 2 escorts on the left that have been hiding in the gas
You
cloud
was
up, and they're going
lucky
to capture
this
that
time.
left-hand point there. Oh. Oh, okay. Battleship was like 600 points. That battleship was not 600 points. How much are the Dark Eldar battleships? They're like, what, 350, 400 points maybe? Obsidian Rose. Yeah, that's just the shooty one, isn't it? That's not that much points. Oh well, never mind. Right, well anyway, thanks for watching guys, and we'll see you in the next one.